Fire scheme? Wink, wink. Well, I certainly hope you're not insinuating the problem is me. I mean, that would be preposterous. I never do anything under the table. That, Miss Malin ain't aware of. If there's any issue, really, you should talk to her. She's straight back in Malin's House of Hospitality. Oh, right. Well, I mean, if you're interested. Pure and simple, it's like this. I run our drug delivery service. Recently, I had the genius idea to cut costs in half by swapping our autoloaders with faster, cheaper sprats. See? I know a fellow genius when I clap eyes on him. Too right you are. Only problem is my sprat carriers ain't arrived from their latest run. As I was saying, you look more capable than most of the hoople heads around these parts. What say you locate him and retrieve the goods for me? In return, I'll cut you 5% of the profit. Hit me. I won't even hit back. I run my sprat carriers back and forth through the shipping tunnels near the waterfall. Ought to check there first. Good luck. And don't get any ideas about pilfering the drugs for yourself. Was that sarcasm? I'm going to assume it was not. If it's sarcasm, you've got to show it somehow, like with a wink. My sprat carriers scurry back and forth through the shipping tunnels. Any trail ought to start there. When you've got the goods, I'll be here.
You seen Arthur today?
Last time I saw him was stars. I can't remember. Days.
You don't think he got crushed during the bridge collapse?
Keep
It was
walking.
his team running that
Lumberleach.
drop? Sure puts things into perspective.
Sure thing.
Hello? I need a refill. Oh, pardon. You don't work here.
My bet's on citation in the autoloader races. Welcome to the offices of the Greater Halcyon Insurance Group, Halcyon's premier provider of life and disaster-related insurance. I'm obligated to inform you that our coverage does not extend to incidents deemed to result from negligence, criminal activity, or dullness of mind. Some people, but no one in this office, I assure you, might call it stupidity.
Hey, who's she calling stupid?
So, what kind of insurance package can I interest you in? We're running a special on dismemberment policies. Buy one, get one half off. Plenty. As my boss likes to say, there's a policy for every situation and an exclusion for every policy. We've insured unusually expressive eyebrows, outrageous statements, disastrous marriages. Usually character actors, or corporate execs with menacing stares. That policy is almost exclusively for our corporate clientele. In the unlikely event they make a claim about a product that turns out to be less than accurate, they need some kind of protection against the damage to their sales and reputation. Those are mostly for top-rungers in Byzantium who have a lot of social and financial capital wrapped up in their marriage contracts. There's one for your beloved eloping with your sibling, your beloved eloping with their sibling, scandalous rumors forcing you apart, the revelation of a secret love child. We try to cover every possible hazard to domestic bliss. One thing's for sure, you won't find better policy protection against sudden lunar implosions anywhere in Halcyon. We're not on Monarch. For all practical and tax-related purposes, this office is an official enclave of Byzantium. Legally speaking, corporations are not allowed to operate on Monarch, but financially speaking, there are certain costs to running a business from within Byzantium's walls. So while our official address is in the city, and while our office here is technically an extension of that address, we found it more expedient to conduct our key operations here. So we can... what's the phrase? Pass savings to the consumer, of course. We prefer to think of it as chasing the savings. Turns out that not having to pay kickbacks, fines, and rent in the most expensive city in Halcyon improves our liquidity. Plus, Sublight keeps this place running remarkably well, and they sure drive business our direction.
You don't look like a smuggler nor a dandy. Catherine send you back here? On second thought, it's best if I don't know. What's your order? No, I don't have any... Ugh. If it's only a drink you're after, the full bar's upstairs. This here's the ante up, where you place your bets. Tossball, autoloader races, card games, you name it. I ain't picky. And neither is Catherine. We'll both break your legs if you lose, then shirk on paying.
Uh-huh. You blind, little bird? Or can you not see I'm busy? Why is it every sissy pig fucker who strolls into my town expects me to smile and shout awful friendly? Welcome to Fallbrook. Only nugget of paradise in this entire law-forsaken land. Like a void damn advert.
I could listen to her talk for hours.
Truthfully spoken, I do aim to properly represent my aforementioned nugget of paradise. You know, I ain't heard that one before. Suppose I'll have to work harder to show you just what makes our town shine. But first, I'll need to know what brings you, stranger. Well? I'm half listening. If it's one that don't mind getting dirty, then I sure do. But how am I to know whether you're reliable, if not fully trustworthy? That you won't ever do. But I like your style, so I'm willing to take a risk. We'll consider it a trial run. There's a Borst factory on up the way, run by a man who calls himself the King. Clive Lundberg, insufferable prick. That aside, it's a business ripe for the plucking. I want it. Clear as that. Stars, I hope so. Clive Lundberg, the self-proclaimed Borst King of Monarch, is swimming in profit and drowning in his ego. He's making the only meal to be had this side of Monarch, and I'm tired of ponying up for my dinner. I want that Borst factory. Owner dead or alive. And you're the soon-to-be handsomely paid fucker who's gonna get it for me. Kill him, run him out. I don't rightly care for the details. So long as Clive knows resistance to me is costly and futile. Hit him where it hurts. In his gut or his production lines ought to make do. If you got brass knockers, you could shoot your way through the front gate. If you don't fancy getting shot to shit, you can try asking Duncan for a disguise. Might be another way in, assuming you're courageous enough to trek the sewers. Void if I know. Then I'd say you might care to poison the cysty pigs, doctor a few financial records, or throw a wrench in the canning machinery. Sometimes the simplest solution is the sweetest. I don't give a whit about the method or the means, just the end. It'll be more than good when you're finished. Maybe not for Clive, but for me and you, I'm sure. Oh, and if you don't fancy going in guns blazing or crawling through a sewer pipe, see Duncan in the dry goods and sundry building. He ought to have an employee ID in that stash of illicit goods he keeps for select clientele. May luck be with you, since I won't be.
Catherine Malin could sour milk just by glaring at it.
Cell sanitization needed. Alert. Cell sanitization needed.
Come back later. Or better yet, not at all.
Always imagined Fallbrook would be
Cleaner, fancier, stocked with better booze.
cheaper. I've emptied 14-bit cards in the last 2 hours.
You've got a terrible tell. Whenever you're lying, my eye just like that. I wouldn't steer you wrong, friend. there it goes again.
Stand clear of Solvent Street.
What are you looking at? Ain't in the mood to chat.
Muting volume now.
What do you think you're doing? All right, but I got my eye on you.
My bit carts are fully loaded and ready to be spent. Bring on the recreation.
Tossball kick!
Green cycles up to Industrial Stain. Quite dirty. Not the competition. This area has been sanitized.
Hey, Cass. Knock, knock.
Did you find them? Tell me you found my Sprat carriers. Would hate should anything dire have befallen them. Seeing as how that statement is wink-free, I am madder than a mantis swarm, and ready to bite somebody. You want your cut? You get me the rest of my drugs, no matter what it takes.
Mini Malin, get your twitch. Don't you run out that door. It's a cruel world outside.
Pollutant purified.
pipes for pissing in the alleyways as bad as it stinks.
Oh, they are.
So that puddle I stepped in? That wasn't beer.
Yeah, that's what you get.
Good job.
Everyone all right?
Got the goods? Because I know you wouldn't be wasting my time otherwise. Wink. Ow! What was that for? No, I wouldn't dream of it, really. Wink. You do? I mean, you do! Of course you do! What did I tell you? Sure-fire delivery system. Works almost every time. Right. In my excitement, I very nearly forgot. Ha. As promised, your cut, plus a little extra to show my gratitude. Now, if there's nothing else you need from me, I must go inventory my goods. Hit me. I won't even hit back. Officially, I keep the books for Miss Malin, provide loans to the Byzantium Goldbloods for gaming, and oversee our drug-running operations. Speaking of, might I interest you in a purchase? I'll give you a first-time discount. That's 5% off and a free drink at the ante up. You're welcome. Suit yourself. Sure it is. Wink.
Clive. I do hope you gave him my regards. Won't pretend I'm not disappointed. Suppose I've no choice but to be patient. Maybe a handful of bits will spur you into quicker action. Good of you to finally haul your ass over here. I wired for backup weeks ago. Got something that's gonna require special extraction from Cascadia. So you got a brain on them shoulders. Excellent. Makes my life a world easier. To extract the gas, you'll need to siphon it from the lab in Cascadia into one of your ship's fuel tanks. Totally safe. Meaning safe for me and my crew, seeing as it ain't us undertaking the risk. Do I look like one of them egghead science types? All I know is that labs use it to create plants and livestock out of local species. But it's a controlled commodity, available only to the board, so it is of high value on the dark market. I do like your gumption, but let's not be hasty. To get to the gas, you'll need to navigate through the town, which is overrun by marauders. The lab itself has become an infested nest, crawling with manties. You gotta fight through or figure out some other way to exterminate them. Maybe the ventilation system? Do I look like one of them egghead science types? All I know is that labs use it to create plants and livestock out of local species. But it's a controlled commodity, available only to the board, so it is of high value on the dark market. So what perchance is your plan? A sound selection. Nyoka's sturdy, reliable, and don't mind wading knee-deep into guts. Now, after you clear the mantis nest and reach the storage room, all that's left is to get the gas flowing into the fuel system. The task will require someone with technical skills, or you could force it through with a plasma overload. Don't recommend that option, though, unless you want to get dead. And I'd rather not wait another several weeks for Lilia to send your replacement. Once you've got our goods, take them to the groundbreaker. Lilia's fencers ought to handle the rest of it. I've marked the coordinates for you to the lab in Cascadia. Use the passcode Antediluvian on the terminal to get in. Best of luck, Fixer.
You seen Arthur today?
Human, you are in violation of Cleanliness Ordinance 8885. Human, you are in violation of Cleanliness Ordinance 8886. Human, you are in violation of Cleanliness Ordinance 8887.
Boss, I don't mean to alarm you, but I think we might be in violation of a cleanliness ordinance.
Schoolwork for Felix! Hit him with something else!
Oh, that's the last of him.
Nobody messes with you! My time to shine!
Sanitization incoming!
Who's next? Nobody? Yeah, that's what I thought. You want some of those?
Activated!
Everyone all right? waiting for this! Hey, boss! Watch this!
Sterling is this unit's middle name. Scoured with prejudice.
Everyone all right? Let's take him down! Here I come!
Clean cycle up to industrial stain.
Oh, that's the last of him!
Preparing to neutralize
That's one down.
and sanitize.
Score one for Felix.
This place smells worse than the back bays.
Looks like we're doing this.
Detected! Sanitation and maintenance job fulfilled.